Hello, everyone. Eric here with Fast Slow Motion, joined today by Daniel Webb, one of our project leaders, and his client, Nancy Selph, who's the head of enterprise technology at Avellino Lab. Nancy, tell us a little bit about you, your role at Avellino, and kind of what the company is all about.
Sure. Really pleasure to be here with you, Eric and Daniel. I work at Avellino Lab. As you said, I'm head of enterprise technology and project management office. So from our perspective, Avellino is a diagnostic company. We do diagnostic eye testing. We do testing for respiratory illnesses. We have a physical CLIA lab here in Menlo Park, California. And we're also involved in a number of different types of businesses, not only our eye diagnostic business, but we have we do some cancer genome checking, as well as Palmona Pathogenetics, which the Palmona company does multiple things, but mostly around infectious diseases.
Excellent. And you came to us around April of this year, 2023. What was going on with Avellino and Palmona at that time that made you kind of reach out to us?
So we've had a Salesforce implementation here at Avellino for quite a long time, but it just was not implemented in a way that was best for the company. I think we felt that we could get so much more out of our investment in Salesforce and work very, very closely with our sales rep, Brooke Kohler, who is really fabulous. And she kept coming back to us saying, you have this huge investment, why aren't you using it? And we just all along had been, to some extent, sort of stumbling along and saying, yeah, it's fine. But finally, I just said, look, we need to invest further in this, and we need to engage with a company that really knows how to implement Salesforce. We are not a Salesforce expert in any way here. As I said, we're a diagnostic company, but our sales team is the core to our business. And without a tool that enables our sales team to generate those leads and look to close deals, we were really on our back foot. And so Brooke recommended Fast Slow Motion. She connected me with Daniel, and we were kind of off to the races from the very moment Daniel and I met, where we just had the same outlook on how we execute on creating value for our company, for our clients and customers, which is really what this is about, right? It's about being able to address our customer needs. And the best way to do that is having everybody's information accurate, being able to integrate the systems that we have here at Avellino. So yeah, it was kind of a match made in heaven.
And Daniel, of course, you've been running the project since Nancy's been with us. Tell us a little bit more about our approach and how we are tackling this thing.
Yes, Eric. So a lot about this project kind of revolved around pouring essentially a better foundation for a fresh Salesforce org and really configuring it to best suit an outsourced third-party sales team that Avellino had brought on, and to prepare that foundation for the second phase, which would be to integrate NetSuite via MuleSoft Composer. So this was the foundational project. And again, it really, all of these kinds of engagements really do derive their success from the partnership. We did not want to be a vendor. We did not want to be a contracted, group. We really want to be a partner. And that's where, Nancy and I really discussed, okay, what are the problems? What is the goal? And all of the different pieces and other parties we needed to connect with to make sure that this was done correctly the first time.
And Nancy, I know this probably isn't the first time you've worked with an outside consultant. How would you describe the experience of working with a team over at FSM?
I have worked on both sides of the fence. I've worked at a number of different vendors. I've worked at TIBCO and Thomson Reuters. I've also worked in a number of financial services company, big banks like Credit Suisse and UBS. And so I immediately, to Daniel's point, believe in partnership, right? It's not just a vendor. I know the challenges on either side of the fence, and this is so key to implementing something that is really, really works for us, which is communication, dealing with people as people. ensuring that, when we work together, we're just a team. And so, that's been, anytime I look at a vendor or I speak to, the way you operate across, multiple companies, that's how you have to work that way. To me, it doesn't work any other way. Getting people on board, setting expectations, understanding what the challenges are, and making sure that we address them. And one of the things that I loved most was how clear and crisp the statement of work was, right? We very much upfront said what was in scope, what was out of scope, what things we needed to accomplish, how do we get those accomplished, and it just rolled from there.
And so it sounds like a complex problem. We're tackling it together. What advice do you have for other business leaders that may be going through something similar in their practice right now?
I think it's determining what areas you do in-house well. What is your competitive advantage, and where do you have to go out and source experts in areas that are not your core competency? And for me, it was very quick to know that Salesforce implementation was not my own personal core competency. I actually had to take on the admin role myself because I just didn't have anybody to within my team. Everybody's busy doing other things. And I also wanted to know hands-on what I needed to do, what things we needed to make sure that our sales team was successful, because they're just a huge important part of our company. So for me, it was ensuring that not only did I know hands-on what was going on, but that the rest of the team understood my commitment to making this happen. So there was just, the minute I met Daniel, I said, yep, you guys are the ones for us that I knew I could work with, who controlled the project, set all of the the timelines and the deliverables and the amount of communication, the amount of documentation. All those things were just exactly in line with my belief system and how I work.
Nancy, how can people out there learn more about Avellino Labs?
Well, we have our website, which is just avellino.com, and which you see the spelling there behind my head. And also Palmona Paphnogenics has its own website. Palmona is again a sort of a subsidiary of Avellino, and we're also standing up a separate org for them, so that they have very different customer base than we do at Avellino. So we thought, as one of the decisions that Daniel and I made early on, was it didn't make sense to just include them in our org for Avellino. They were going to have their own. And I went back and worked directly with Salesforce so that we could get a couple of licenses transferred over. Again, it's just such a great partnership between Fast Slow Motion, Salesforce, and Avellino. So yep, they can go to our website and find out more about us and about our diagnostic testing.
Nancy, thank you again for your time today. Daniel, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.